Hello, hello. Welcome, folks. Hey, Alex. Hey, Eric. Thank you for joining in on a weeknight. I'm glad you're able to be here. Hello. Yeah, Alex says was totally surprised by a 5-minute ping. Had to double check. Yeah, sorry if you thought this was Saturday and suddenly you thought, oh, you're right into the weekend again. No, yeah, just figured we'll do it on a Monday and do our weekly catch up and see how it goes. Oh, before we get there, Eric says lots of cool government aircraft flying into. Oh, Eric, yes, yeah, with the G7. Eric says in Calgary. Nice, Eric. If you get a chance, go down, take a few pictures, and let us know. I mean, we're lucky here in Ottawa that we do get to see quite a few of these special aircrafts that come in and out of the city. So the airport, there's a couple of Facebook pages with Ottawa airplane spotters and things like that, and they do a great job of catching all of these aircrafts and posting it up there. So if you get a chance, just for the sake of experience, you should go down to the airport and see if you can catch some of those planes. Oh, there we go. Eric's sharing his Calgary Planes group on Facebook. Fantastic. Right. So yeah, coming back to perhaps one of the bigger news from last week was the fantastic offers from Amex Canada. Uh, Great offers, but jaw-dropping in more than one ways. Jaw-dropping not just for their high welcome bonuses, the historic high welcome bonuses on the card, but also jaw-dropping for the amount of spending that is required to achieve all of those. So I'll get you folks to react to what you thought of the new offers and where you think it sort of sits in with you if you didn't have them already in your wallet and what you think about it. And while you get a chance to reflect on that and throw in a couple of comments, let me quickly go through what the offers are. So for those of you that haven't heard yet or didn't bother to check as much, it basically Amex came down with incredible offers on their platinum cards and their business cards. So business Amex Business Platinum, Amex Personal Platinum, Amex Business Gold cards, and Amex Personal Gold cards. So all these offers include three components, very similar to what they did with the co-branded Aeroplan and Bonvoy cards just recently. So similar in the structure of these new offers. So all three offers, or all of these offers now include three components, which is initial bonus for the spend in the first 3 months, and then you get a second set of bonus for the annual spend on the card. So that is 12 months of your card membership. And then the third and the final bonus you get is for retaining the card and for making a purchase between the months of 15 and 17. It used to be 14 months. The 14th month, they've moved that marker to 15 and 17, just to make sure that people are really keeping that card and not just making that final spend and closing the account. So a good way to sort of retain membership. Let's start with the Business Platinum card because that's the eye-catching offer that we got. So first time ever in Canada, the Business Platinum is now up to 200,000 membership reward points for new card members, which is fantastic. If you're able to make all of the expenses, if you're able to meet all of the expenses expected out of you. So the first 110,000 membership reward points out of the 200,000. You'll get that if you're able to spend $15,000 in the first 3 months. The second spend, which is the annual spend, you have to spend $90,000. That's correct, $90,000 to earn that second set of 60,000 points bonus. And then the final 30,000 points is when you make a purchase in the months between 15 and 17 months of your card membership. So that's the Business Platinum with the massive 200,000 membership reward points offer. The Business Gold, on the other hand, is up to 100,000 membership reward points. It's 40,000 points for $7,500 in the first 3 months, which is fairly gettable. The next 40,000 you get is for spending up to $30,000 in 12 months, which is decent as well. And the final 30,000 is when you make that purchase in terms of your retention between 15 and 17. So overall, the package is 110,000 points, much more gettable than trying to keep a business platinum card and trying to spend $90,000 on that card in a year. But for businesses that are able to put through, say, a $30,000 or $90,000 expenses on their card in a year, These two are fantastic offers, none better than the Business Platinum, of course, for the 20,000, sorry, not 20,000, for the 200,000 membership reward points for the Business Platinum, that is. Let's switch over to personal. On the personal side, the Personal Platinum card is up to 180,000 points. So the first 100,000 you get for when you spend $10,000 in the first 3 months. Then the next 50,000 you get when you spend $50,000 in the 12 months. So again, a bit of a hike in terms of what is expected for spend on that personal card. And then the final 30,000 again is for retention for making a purchase between the months of 15 and 17. And likewise on the Gold Personal Amex card or Amex Personal Gold card, the offer is up to 110,000. In this case, slightly different because you earn 5,000 points every month that you spend at least $1,000 on that card. So you can get up to 60,000 points. So 12 times 5,000, so 60,000 points annually there. And then the next set of 30,000 points you get when you spend at least 20,000 points, sorry, $20,000 on that card in the year. And then the final 20,000 comes as a retention bonus when you make a purchase between 15 and 17 months. Strong offers, really strong offers for those that are able to put that kind of spend on these cards. Hopefully, they'll see their attrition rates become better on these cards with the high spend, high bonuses approach that they seem to be taking across all of these cards. The co-brand offers that came through earlier, and now the platinum and gold offers that we are seeing on by Amex are all available until August 18th, 2025. So you get a couple of months to all of that spend on the card to make sure you get the best value out of the points. Let's take a look at a couple of comments we have here. Alex says, "Great first year bonus, but with second year spent to get but wild second year spend to get the bonus." Hmm. Why do you think, Alex? What's the second year spend? Or do you mean the 15 to 17? Is that what you're alluding to? I don't think that's as wild in terms of just making one purchase to keep that card. If you're basically saying that yes, in the second year, because you won't be getting all of the welcome bonuses, you get very little in terms of, say, a 30,000 points just to keep that card and continue using that card. But I bring you back to that statement. I think they're really trying to refine who these cards are for and really trying to better their attrition rates on these cards. So they don't want people to simply sign up for the big bonuses alone and then drop the card after the first year or after the first year, year and a half. They really want the kind of spenders, the kind of people that they think should be keeping the platinum cards in their wallet. But to your point, Alex, point well taken. When if you think of the card, the annual fee, and everything that comes with it, and just the sort of nominal 30,000 points as your retention bonus in year two, it is fairly sort of meek compared to say a 200,000 200,000 points as an acquisition offer for a first-time cardholder. Eric says, "I'm US based. The spend segmentation is crazy in Canada compared to the US. None of that in month 14, 17 stuff seems designed for breakage in addition to retention." Yeah, for sure. I think well put, Eric. I think that is the big difference here in terms of, oh, by the way, Rich has joined us as well. Hello, Rich. Welcome. Uh, US Amex has been really strong in terms of trying to get people in through bigger bonuses and not as much spend. But I think it really speaks to the fact that the ability for an average Canadian to spend on a credit card might be a lot higher than the average US person to spend on a card. And I'm talking about the average US person versus the average Canadian person, right? That they're really trying to promote these cards to, which is why their data sets may have suggested that, hey, look, Canadians are willing to spend certain amount of money on these cards, so they won't be losing out on people simply because they have this giant spend requirements on these cards. You have to, I mean, you have to think that they've done, their data team and their analytics team is giving them some data to suggest that by adding this, not only will they better their attrition rates on these cards, but also that there is a market that will continue to use this card. And don't forget, some of these super high spend requirements are on business cards. And business cards, by the nature, will tell you that these businesses will be spending or will make this card their primary card. I also feel that the spend requirements are rather jarring, especially when they're introduced like this right off the bat. But at least they're doing these big spend expectations alongside the big bonuses that they're willing to give you for card acquisition. And hopefully, going on to year two and onwards, you'll be able to reap better benefits. If not, I mean, not better benefits is not the right term. You'll be able to continue to reap the benefits of the Platinum card itself, despite not having the typical welcome bonuses to for you to keep that card. Uh, Eric says different customer base, fair enough. Foreign transaction fee on the flagship travel card at $799 annual fee is insane to me. Yeah, 100%, Eric. And I think that's the one thing that I would love to see. And if and when this Amex Platinum reset happens in the US, the big question will be, will Canada follow? And I think one of the things I would love to see Amex Platinum offer on their premium cards is at least the waiving of the foreign exchange fee. But time will tell if the premium cards get to see that or not. I think that would be a great positioning for that particular card. Alex says totally understandable from the bank's point of view. Just also thinking back to previous years and what the bonuses have been and how they've been structured, it's changed quite a bit. Oh, yeah, quite a bit is an understatement, Alex. It's changed quite a lot. Writing a post about the nosediving of platinum bonuses, which were down to like 30,000 points or something like that as an acquisition offer. But even prior to that, yeah, things have changed. I mean, it's not long ago that we thought 100,000 points was a marker where every card, if you reach that 100,000 bonus acquisition offer, that's the best place to be. And now you have American Express breaking through that 200,000 ceiling as well on their offers, which bodes well for Canadian space in general. So yeah, we've come a long way from the standard 25,000 points on some of these co-branded cards like Aeroplan, all the way through to whatever they are currently, which is 100,000, 150,000 plus, or in case of Business Platinum, 200,000. So yeah, you're right. It's changed a bit, like you said. So let's see what comes of it. Switching to Amex US for a moment here, and I think Eric alluded to that already, and I gave you a heads up. In a media release earlier today, Amex confirmed that US Platinum cards, and I repeat, US Platinum cards, will undergo the biggest reset in coming in fall 2025. So the release mentions sort of talks about millennials and Gen Z as an age demographic and says that this group contributed about 35% of the total spending on these cards, on the platinum cards, and how Amex plans to take that platinum card to the next level, although they don't specify exactly what they mean by that. But I suspect Amex is going to really lean heavy on the experiences portion and build it further into the card. And this is all guesses, based speculation based on the media release that came today. The media release did not talk about what that next level means. There was a lot of speculative language used there, a lot of hyperbole language used there, which is very typical for a brand, for a marketing company. But yeah, the fact that they specifically mentioned millennials and Gen Z as the age demographic. I feel like they're going to double down on that card and really try and focus that towards the younger population. And that just means, think about dining, think about experiences, think about restaurants, and all of those things that Cobalt is really known for here in Canada. So I'm thinking maybe aspects of that, they'll really try and hammer those to the T on the US Platinum side. And maybe they'll give out more credits, make it more travel friendly, make it so all of those things can be rolled into it. But they also spoke about lounges, how many more lounges are coming. And from what we know through Chase and Capital One lounges and the others, it's not it won't be far-fetched to guess that there'll be restrictions coming to lounge access as well, in the sense that you may not be able to guest somebody in at lounge access may really be now relegated to card holders only or supplementary card holders that pay a certain kind of fee to have that lounge access for their card as well. And again, at the expense of repeating, this is just conjuncture on what they're calling the sort of biggest reset on these platinum cards in the last 40 years, since they first launched 40 years ago. So yeah, we can also expect to see sort of further enhancements to credit card off, or sorry, credits that we get, the Amex credits that we get on these cards, particularly around food and restaurants. Again, going back to that comment about the millennial and Gen Z population. Um, so yeah, any guesses on what will happen to the US Platinum annual fee, since we were just talking about the Canadian one? And will Canada follow? All of those things really intrigue me right now. Fall is not too far away in a few months. So yeah, let me know what you think. What you speculate could be the big change or some of the bigger changes, and what the change in fee could look like. Eric says 895 US. Eric, can you remind us again what that delta is? Like, where is it going from to 895? I want to say 599 to 695. If I recall correctly, says Eric. Yeah, I was going to say 599, but obviously 695 for the US Platinum, and it's going to go up. You think by a couple of $100. Right. Um, and what would that do to the Canadian one? I mean, you already commented about 799 for a premium card here in Canada, which is $800 already. And if this US reset goes through and Canada follows in the next few months, what would the Canadian one look like? Do we think it's going to touch $1,000 in Canada? Because that will be ridiculous, even for a Canadian market. If what Eric is saying, if we are close to that, say 895 or 900 US for the US Platinum cards, $1,000 in Canada will be breached, and oof, that'll be a tough one to swallow. Again, there is no mention of this anywhere. I'm just trying to think out loud in terms of what it could mean for all of the other aspects. A travel fail on my end, so story time. So a recent e-upgrade failure happened, and I was kind of, flummoxed that I missed out on doing a few basic things that I would normally do because I was in a rush to book and move on. I was trying to book Ottawa to Vancouver, and Ottawa to Vancouver has one wide body aircraft each way that comes and goes. So obviously, I knew the demand will be high. I was happy to see that when I used the e-up filter on my search result, one of the wide bodies on the days I was looking at, it showed that little green indicator, right? So which tells you that yeah, e-up was available, and that if I used an e-up, it would actually go through. So I saw that green arrow, and I proceeded. And I looked at the price comparison, and premium economy flex was about the same as latitude or slightly cheaper than latitude economy fare. So I figured, hey, if anything is to go wrong, at least I'm in premium economy and not stuck in economy. So I ended up purchasing premium economy flex fare because premium economy flex and latitude both, if there is space, it goes through right away, it clears right away. You don't have to wait. So I saw the green indicator, was happy with the thing, went ahead with premium economy and made the purchase. And after I completed my purchase, I went and applied some e-ups to it. And guess what? As soon as I applied the e-ups, it waitlisted me. And I was like, huh, interesting, because I clearly saw that green indicator there, which is the reason why I even picked that particular flight for an upgrade. But yeah, got waitlisted even though it said that that had happened. I had missed a very critical step in like trying to quickly finish my booking, is I did not go into Expert Flyer and search for my R space. So heads up, typically I would have done that, and you should do this every single time, no matter what the airline search results tell you and filters tell you. Always look for R space on Expert Flyer and see if in fact there is R space available. And if there is R space available and the indicator is showing green, 99.9% of the time, you're okay, and you'll be able to lock in your e-upgrade. Unfortunately, my e-upgrade did not go through, and I thought, okay, whatever, we'll see what happens on the day. And sure enough, on the day, as expected, I started off second on the wait list. By the time check-in rolled in, I was number five on that wait list, and there was only like one seat available in signature class, so I missed out on it. But on the return trip, I was first on that wait list, and it in fact went through. So kind of a little loss here, a little win there, and it felt like a bit of an emotional roller coaster, to be very honest. And I kept kicking myself in terms of not doing that additional check of expert flyer, trying to get onto that wait list and incessantly trying to check if I had cleared or not is just one of those travel games I enjoy while I'm in it. But when it doesn't go through, it's kind of like, I did spend premium economy flex. I could have sort of picked a cheaper, the standard premium economy and still been on the same seat. All of that remorse kind of kicks in, which is not a great feeling. But then again, when I was number one on that list and the only spot that was available got allocated to me, it felt like a win. It felt like a major win. And suddenly I felt like, oh, e-upgrades are the best thing that can happen to mankind. Uh, so it's that kind of roller coaster. But I wanted to give you, since we are talking sort of Air Canada and Canadian travel, wanted to give you a quick heads up. Thanks to a good friend, Barry Choi, who was in Montreal recently, he noticed what looked like a new lounge, which was right across from the Maple Leaf Lounge, the domestic Maple Leaf Lounge in Montreal, but without any signage or whatnot. So he shared a couple of pictures, and I poked around with a few friends and contacts, and turns out there's a brand new Aspire Lounge opening in Montreal, not far from now. So in a couple of weeks, actually in June at some point, there's going to be a soft launch of the new Aspire Lounge in Montreal domestic. So if you are going to be transiting Montreal, just know that your Platinum card or your other cards that get you access to Priority Pass will get you access to that new Aspire Lounge as well. So keep your eyes out. A lot of these searches that you do for which lounges are available may not have been updated or may not be updated in the next few days, simply because it's going to have a soft opening in June, and then perhaps a full sort of branded advertised opening in July. So yeah, keep an eye out. Thanks to our good friend Barry for taking those photos and putting us on a bit of a trail earlier today. Yeah, so that's another new Aspire Lounge, and this would be what, the third or the fourth? Can somebody look it up? How many Aspire Lounges are now in Canada? They seem to be doing a really good job of breaking through, breaking ground on a lot of these newer lounges, because the new co-branded Aspire Lounge with Air Canada in Billy Bishop was amazing. It's one of my favorite lounges in the country, to be very honest. There was a new one with WestJet in Calgary that opened recently, perhaps even last month, which is Aspire WestJet Lounge. Same idea, like a co-branded one. Is there an Aspire Lounge in YYZ? Has anybody been to one? Can somebody quickly check and see if there's any other Aspire lounges in Canada? Well, of course, the one in Ottawa is fairly newish, and does decently. And when I say does decently, tends to get overcrowded during peak times, but is empty the other times, which is just the norm with lounges these days. That's the other Aspire Lounge, and I'm sure there's a few more Aspire Lounges in Canada, coast to coast to coast. But those are the ones that I've been in and I've been very impressed with. So it's great to see Montreal getting a new one on the domestic side. So fantastic news if you were hoping for that. Right. Let's talk a little bit about another sort of decision I made around. Well, we've all heard about the Air India crash, the Air India 787-8 aircraft that went down in Ahmedabad. Uh, I mean, I'm not going to revel on the usual speculations of why it happened, how it happened, because that's far beyond my understanding, and I really want to refrain from speculating or doing any of that. What it did was it really put Air India and my entire upcoming schedule because I am scheduled to fly, or I was rather. So, long story short, I canceled my upcoming Air India flights. I was scheduled to fly Melbourne, Australia to New Delhi, and then Melbourne to New Delhi was on the 787-8, the exact aircraft that went down. Um, and then onwards from Delhi to New York was on the brand new A350 Air India 101. I was scheduled to fly that route, and I was really looking forward to the service. I wasn't looking forward to the 787 service between Melbourne and Delhi, to be honest. I know that one was going to be more of a, for lack of a better term, a shit show. The only way for me to lock in that Air India 101, the brand new A350, was married segment with this Melbourne to Delhi route. And I was kind of surprised because I'm supposed to be in Melbourne next month, and when I was searching, I was surprised to see that it was tied to this specific one. So I thought, hey, why not? I typically tend to go from Australia to Asia and Asia onwards to North America. I thought, let's go the other way. Let's go India to New York, that kind of thing. But unfortunately, given everything that has happened in the last week, and to be honest, the actual reason that tipped me over because I kept thinking about it, and of course, more than the individual, I'm sure if you were scheduled to travel on that, it's friends, family, it's your loved ones that worry about that decision, right? And it doesn't mean that it's the actual aircraft that's an issue or anything like that. I'm not trying to make that statement. What I'm saying is it was sitting on top of my mind. And what really tipped me towards that cancellation was if you look up some of the news that's coming up since that crash about the 787 variants, it's not good. In the last couple of days, I don't have the links with me, but if you want, just Google it and you'll find it on boarding area or maybe a few other outlets that I've been reading. There was British Airways 787-8, exactly the same aircraft, that complained about some flap issues and some technical issues and actually turned around. This flight was scheduled to fly from, I guess, London to Chennai, India. Uh, and this was a British Airways flight, 787-8. And I guess an hour or so into the flight, they decided to turn back around and return to the origin due to technical difficulties. And likewise, more recently, yesterday perhaps, or the day before, another Air India flight flying out of Hong Kong and going to India um, landed with some technical issues 90 minutes into their flight, and the pilots decided to turn around and return to Hong Kong as opposed to continue on to India, and they were allowed to come back to Hong Kong and land again. So return to origin for some technical issues once again. So both of these. So when these news items started coming through, again, it kind of made that uneasy feeling a little more prominent. And I thought, you know what, it's not worth it. It's not worth the mental space it's occupying right now. And of course, it's not worth the anguish that I would put my family in if they knew that I was flying this particular aircraft and that particular route with Air India. This close to the mishap. And again, just want to say that I'm not making a statement about Boeing, about the aircraft, or about Air India here. I'm just saying that the unease that I was sitting with really quantified with the two other airlines like British Airways and that other Air India Hong Kong flight that returned because of some technical issues. And again, with the flap thing, which is what was being talked about so much in the media. Anyways, canceled it. I was able to find United Polaris routes out of Melbourne going into San Francisco. Uh, for much cheaper. Actually, my flight, I had booked Melbourne, Delhi, Delhi, New York for 115,000 Aeroplan points, all in business class. I canceled that because I also saw that I'd be able to. I saw some availability pop up on United Polaris going Melbourne, San Francisco, Toronto, Ottawa. So bringing me right home for 87,000 or 88,000. And I just booked that yesterday. So yeah, I mean, in terms of looking forward to a new cabin, to a new airline cabin, which was A350 Air India, um, it's a bummer that I won't be going with them anymore. But just in terms of mental peace and It'll be a Polaris route, and for those of you know, I'm not the biggest Polaris fan either, but Polaris can be up and down, so we'll see how that Polaris thing goes. But at least for now, I'm not flying Air India next month as I was scheduled to, but I will be flying Polaris. Actually, flying Polaris both back and forth a few months ago. I found Polaris routes out of LAX going into Melbourne, so I booked. Ottawa, Chicago, Chicago, LAX, LAX, Melbourne. And on the reverse now, I'm doing Polaris again, Melbourne, San Francisco, Toronto, Ottawa. Um, Alex says had a similar experience last month doing Toronto to somewhere in Brazil, GRU, Sao Paulo, I suppose, and back had premium economy. Oh, sorry. Alex is talking about my e-up thing. So sorry, Alex. I'm just reading your comment only now. I had premium economy low going there, premium economy flex coming back. No luck on both, unfortunately. Only one seat available on each flight, but had fun refreshing the upgrade list constantly. Yeah, that's not a good one, Alex. I mean, that's not good for you because yeah, it's like a little blood pressure game that happens and you incessantly keep uploading it, I mean, refreshing it in hopes that you've moved up the ranking list. What I've realized now is unless in some of these bigger on some of these bigger routes, unless you are number one on that list or number two, it is unlikely that it's going to come through. That's my bottom line experience these days. If I'm three or lower, uh, unless the flight is super light load to begin with, it's not going to happen because I'm only a 50K. So unless I was 100K, I'm always fighting the odds, especially on some of these bigger routes, say Ottawa, Vancouver, or in your case, Toronto. Uh, is GRU Sao Paulo or Rio? Well, either or. Uh, in your case, that direct flight, also the same thing. So Sao Paulo, yeah, says Alex. Yeah, so same thing. In some of these on these bigger routes, unless I'm number one or two on that upgrade list, it's a goner, and that's just how I treat it. It's very rare to see on big routes like say Toronto, Vancouver, for more than two people to clear upgrade list, if at all the upgrade list moves. So yeah, just to temper some expectations, that's where we are these days with e-ups as well with Air Canada. All right, Grimsley. Grimsley saying Delta thanks. Booked a $4,000 ticket. Okay. Changed the ticket and paid an additional cost of 924. New ticket cost the difference of $9. Okay. Canceled the ticket. Only received a refund of 924 after 3 weeks. Huh. Call to inquire. Agent said after canceling the new ticket and submitting a the system recreated the old ticket, so only the additional. What? Okay. So I don't know if it's the same thing, Grimsley, but I'll share something with you. Um, a friend of mine canceled, had booked his mom and himself, I think, because you mentioned 4,000, very close to $4,000 on Delta to fly from Sydney into Toronto. So around $4,000. And then pandemic happened. So they had to sort of cancel, keep it as a credit. They kept it as a credit for a while, booked again. Something didn't pan out and they were allowed to cancel again and kept it and then waited. And after 3 years or so, when they tried doing it again, the system wouldn't let them book at all and basically said the credit was too old to use. And in terms and conditions, clearly it stated that you have to use that ticket within the next 2, 3 years or whatever that date was, and they were unable to extend that credit value anymore. So I'm wondering how old was this ticket? Or when did you book the original ticket? If you're able to share that with us, because I wonder if your booking as well was old enough, like maybe older than 2 years, and that Delta is now saying that, hey, oh, Grimsley says just a few months ago, it's an IT issue. Okay, never mind. So clearly not the same thing. But I wondered if it was an old ticket issue on your end as well. But wow. And of course, because the difference is so big that you would even notice it, But if the difference was small enough, I probably wouldn't even notice it. Like, you know what I mean? Like if it was the reverse of that and all you were losing out, or the difference was just 9, $10 and you weren't getting that back, I think that IT glitch is significant because many people, if they ran into the same thing and were missing out on, say, $20 here, $30 there, $200 there, they may not even notice. But good on you for noticing that giant IT glitch. And someone told me that their e-credit gets lost in the system after two changes. Huh, interesting. All right, folks, let's close this one out. Have a good one. Good night, and thank you so much for joining in. Take care. Bye.